This is Ajay Soni, and in this session we are going to talk about magnetic properties of the material. Okay, so as far as the GATE is concerned, one of the sections from which you can expect both type of question, the objective type of question as well as the numerical type. In the numerical type, if you see the previous year question, specifically the calculation of saturation magnetization as well as the saturation flux density, these two have been asked. So for that we have made a separate video where we have also solved the previous year question that you can see. So as far as the magnetic properties is concerned, what are the things that we are going to learn in this? So we have to learn first of all various parameters. In order to understand properties of the material which are magnetic one, you have to first know the basics, the fundamentals. What are the parameters which will define the properties of the material? And one thing that you should be you have to make sure is the whole chapter is based on electrical point of view, in the sense the way how electronic structure of the material is. On the basis of that, material is going to perform, or it will show a magnetic behavior. So first thing we are going to start with is magnetic field vectors, which are nothing but a lot of parameters that we will try to understand. For example, there's a thing called H, which is known as magnetic field strength. Then we have this B, which is magnetic flux density. Then you have permeability, which we will talk about. Then you have permeability of a vacuum, of a solid material. Then you have this term known as magnetization. Then you have susceptibility. All these things we will talk about. Then you have relative permeability. So all these vectors you should know in order to go into deep analysis of, let's say, a copper. A copper is what category of material? Why it is a magnetic material? What are the various properties it shows? It when a magnet or a magnetic field is present and you put copper in that field, the way how it will behave, whether it will be attracted, whether it will be repulsed, whether it will feel attractive force or a repulsive force, all those things depend somehow on this property. They characterize the magnetic behavior. So you have to understand that. After that, we will try to understand the origin of magnetic behavior. Where does this all, we say magnetism, magnetic behavior, or whether a material, if in the presence of magnetic field, the way how it will behave, what is the core inside, what is the core onto which those depend. So origin of magnetic or magnetism, and this is based on electronic theory. This we have to see. Electronic theory means based on the way electronic configuration is, like what are the number of free electrons available for a specific material. For copper, on the last orbital we have two valence electrons of free electrons. So what are that, the way how many electrons do you have, what is it which causes to behave that material when you will put it in the magnetic field, whether it will be attracted or it repulsed, those things we have to see. The concept of dipole, everything here is based on this magnetic dipole. You have to understand this. Once you are fully aware with what is a magnetic dipole, so you put this dipole, which we will say magnetic dipoles are nothing but they are some form of electron. We will try to understand how electronic structure is resembled with the magnetic dipole. Now what you do, you put this dipole in a magnetic field, which is nothing but an imaginary force line of magnetic force. How this dipole will behave, whether it will orient itself, reorient itself, or you do not have a dipole at all, those things we will talk about. So every dipole has a dipole moment which will be affected by a magnetic field. Based on that, based on this, how a magnetic dipole inside an atom, inside a material behaves. In the presence of magnetic field, externally applied magnetic field, you have classification of magnetic behavior. So we will try to understand that also. So there are several that we will look on to, like ferromagnetism, diamagnetism, So all the group of materials, so we have a huge bunch of materials which are categorized onto a specific magnetic behavior. Like some of the materials show this behavior, which is diamagnetism. Why they do so that? Why only that? What are the specific feature of this behavior, which is diamagnetism? Do the material which show this behavior, whether they are attracted by a strong magnet or whether they are repulsed? What is it? What are out of these values? What is it value that you will see? And just by looking at that value, you can say that my material is a diamagnetic material. So we will talk about that. Dia, and you have paramagnetism. Then you have ferromagnetism. Then you have out of ferro, the two more classifications are based on the ferromagnetism itself, which are antiferro and ferrimagnetism. Okay. After understanding these baselines, we will look on to some application of the ferro or the magnetic properties of the behavior of material. Like there are things called magnetic materials. There are two types. One is being the hard and one is being the soft magnetic material. In order to understand this material, first we have to look on to what is known or being said as hysteresis loop or the magnetic behavior. So these are like outline. So this particular, right now what we are trying to understand is to overview, look at the overview of all this whole chapter, whereas what are the things we are going to learn, how those things are going to be asked in your GATE examination, what is the scope of this chapter. This is very important. As you can see, at least one or two questions you can expect from this particular chapter, specifically numerical being asked on what. In this you will see there is calculation of two things. Number one is saturation magnetization and number two is saturation flux density, which is very easy to calculate. I will explain or show you the best possible way to calculate these two parameters very easily. And another thing which is important for GATE is examples. They can give you in maths the following type. On the left hand side they will write this name, on the right hand side they will write the example, like copper is what, whether it is ferro, whether it is dia, whether it is para. So you have to remember the example of all of these, which are very important. And when we will see this, you will have to remember numerical formulas, the formulas which will help you to calculate these values later on if a numerical question is being asked. Okay, so this is just like an overview of the whole chapter, where we have to see this starting from the magnetic dipole concept itself. So what a magnetism is, there are some group of materials which tend to behave or which tend to have these forces. Like if there is another, you take a material which shows this magnetism and you take another piece of material, you put it in front of them or in the vicinity of their magnetic field, they will represent, they show either repulsive forces or either attractive forces based on the geometry, and this phenomenon is known as magnetism. So this thing which is called magnetic force, it can be attractive, it can be repulsive. These magnetic forces are represented by imaginary field of line. Our Mother Earth also has its own magnetic field. Every bar magnet or permanent magnet itself possesses these magnetic fields, which are nothing but imaginary lines that do represent kind of a force which will be applied to a material, to a commodity when it is present or when it is in the vicinity of that magnetic field. To explain you this, so our whole chapter is based on the electronic theory, specifically the magnetic dipole. So you might know what a bar magnet is. There are so many types of magnet, simplest being the bar magnet, which has two dipoles. One is north pole, another one being the south pole. So magnetic dipole, the dipole moment is always represented from south to north, and this whole chapter we will represent the magnetic dipole with the arrow. This is your magnetic dipole is. This is what our magnetic dipole, which in this bar magnet we are going to resemble this, or we are going to take analogy of this in our electronic structure. We will represent the arrows in other forms later on when we will see the origin of magnetism. Okay, so these are known as bar magnets. So every bar magnet or any magnet or material which possesses this magnetism have this kind of imaginary lines. We say them as imaginary lines which represent somehow. So we'll remove this. These are nothing but your magnetic force. If you put another material in here, this material is going to be affected by these magnetic field forces, which are nothing but forces represented by this material. Okay, so these are magnetic fields, which we have to talk within a minute about them in the next video itself. So we have to first understand what is a magnetic dipole. Just like an electric dipole, which is nothing but you take a positive charge and you take a negative charge. You put them at a finite distance. This combination is known as an electric dipole. Just like this, a magnetic dipole is also nothing but you take two charges. Obviously both of them has to be opposite and there has to be some distance in between them. So like now you can take here as a N, here as a S. So a group of charges which have opposite, the nature of them is opposite with respect to each other with respect to a specific distance. They maintain a specific distance, finite distance. This assembly is known as a magnetic dipole, which in the whole chapter we will represent with this arrow. The direction is always from south to north, just like the direction is in here is from negative to positive. This is the direction of a magnetic electric dipole. Analogous to this we have a magnetic dipole. So a magnetic dipole is the representation of the characteristic of a magnetic material. You have to know this, which we have to relate it with the electronic structure. Where do you get these dipoles? Within an atom, within a material. You have to look the electronic or atomic structure. There are two types of dipoles. One is being known as orbital, one is being known as spin, which we will see later here. So for the time being, I believe it is more than enough. So magnetic dipole. Now what we do is we take these materials. So a copper, which will also have some magnetic dipoles. You take that copper, you put them inside, or you put them in the externally applied magnetic field. What will happen to those dipoles is all about their behavior. So a group of material will tend to orient themselves. If there is a magnetic dipole and it tends to orient themselves in the direction of magnetic field, so we say them as a specific group of material. If they tend to reorient themselves in the opposite direction, so we say them as another group of material. If already they are oriented even in the absence of magnetic field, so we say them as a specific magnetic material. I gave you the identification or hint of what is dia, ferro and paramagnetic materials. So it is all about dipoles and the way how they are present inside a material. It is all about magnetic dipoles, their presence inside the material, whether all of them are oriented already or they orient themselves when a magnetic field is applied. It is all about that. So first we will start with what are the magnetic field vectors. We are saying a lot of time magnetic field. How do you represent a magnetic field? What is that parameter which can talk about magnetic field? Its strength, its power. Just like we say we applied 50 Newton force. So the parameter or the characteristic of applied of something is force, which we understand as mass per unit, mass multiplied with acceleration. Also we understand if we apply a pressure means a force is applied over per unit area. Just like that, a magnetic field is understood. You can understand that by a parameter known as magnetic field strength, which is later on going to induce some more magnetism or dipole moment inside the material, which is known as magnetic field density, which is again related with some constant, which we will see in the next session. So I am going to end this session. Here we have just talked about the introduction of what is magnetic, what are various magnetic material, what is what are various fields, vectors that we will talk about, then the introduction or the overview of the whole chapter.